Okay, testing. 1, 2, 3, testing 1, 2, 3. The Wayne in Spain falls mainly on the plains. The ants in France stay mainly in your pants. Who's alive? You guys don't have sound? Hello? Oh, good. Maybe there's a lag. So, good morning. It's a Wednesday, the 9th of June. Yeah. Welcome to Forex.Today, the YouTube community of over 18,000 foreign exchange traders. Technical and fundamental analysis is what we're here for, so let's get going. Let me remind you that trading is risky, not appropriate for everyone. Your past performance, good or bad, is not necessarily indicative of future results. Please stay small, stay humble, focus on the long term. Never risk money you cannot afford to lose. Jim, he might be going through fxbootcamp.com, not swing. Ideally, people are not going through that one. That one's old. Yeah. Because that's all that gets you is a swing trading group, not everything else. I want everybody to have everything. Yeah. No, that's all right. All right. Hey. How's it looking? Is it okay today? It's okay today. Hey, good morning, everybody. So, technical and fundamental analysis, right? Yeah, so we're in this zone between non-farm payrolls last week and the upcoming FOMC meeting, in which inflation is going to be discussed. Quantitative easing and the taper is likely to be discussed and hinted toward, and is a critical meeting going into what we call summer. Okay. So this is great because this is your opportunity to trade with conservatism, using patience and discipline, looking to set up proper trades. Okay. Right? Just relying on yourself to make good decisions, not necessarily just, do what your tools tell you to do. I mean, yes, you have to do that, but your tools, like, for example, I bought a torque wrench yesterday. My first torque wrench. Yes, I know. After 50 years on Earth, you'd think I would have owned a torque wrench by now, but I bought my first torque wrench. But it doesn't make me a better driver. It doesn't teach me how to drive my Porsche, but it is a tool. I thought I'd teach my kid on how to change engine coils and spark plugs. So, you see what I mean? I wouldn't rely on my torque wrench to teach me how to drive, right? Okay. Jimmy, if there's no position trading templates, you just make them. You just make your own. It's not complicated, right? You just set it up. So position are monthly pivots. So set it to monthly bias pivots and save the template as position, right? Okay. So anyways, yeah, so what am I working on? Yeah, just engine coils. I'm going to teach my son how to, he wants to buy a Mustang GT and he's saving money. And so they're right. So anyways, I'm like, well, if you're going to own an older Mustang, get used to doing things like working on basic engines yourself. Why pay someone $500 in labor when it really only takes about, what you do is you get a couple of cold Cokes and you crank up the stereo and you open the hood and you get to work, right? And instead of paying someone $500, if you're a kid, just do it yourself and have a good time doing it. So anyways, that's what I'm trying to, right? FD9 says, hey, Wayne, you killed Bitcoin yesterday. I killed it on the Bitcoin trade. Yeah, I am in it. I got it at 33. Last time I looked at it, it's at 34 and some change. So cool. So anyways, let's get back to the whole trading thing. Ask questions, get involved, treat each other, with dignity and respect. Remind yourself that you're in my office. So, I don't mind a few chuckles, but we're really here. This is our business. This is the office. This is my profession, and you're in my office. So be professional as much as possible. Okay. I'd like to thank Traders Way for being part of our community as well. Any business in any industry will rely on service providers and having good service providers, reliable service providers, and ones that have custody also need to be trustworthy. And so Traders Way has earned my loyalty and respect a long time ago, and through not just talk but action. And again, the Swiss National Bank experience really earned Traders Way my respect. So it proved to me that they actually execute your trades into the interbanking system. Sounds simple enough, but it's actually a unique positive quality. So anyways, thank you, Traders Way. So if you're at Forex.Today, you can just click and go. All right. So welcome. Anyways. So what I thought we could do is take a look at what's going on today. I have this organized by high only, and you can see, we're going to have commodity currencies move today, in particular kitty CAD. Okay, in particular kitty CAD. So I think we talked about that maybe you might want to consider trading it back on Monday. Well, now it's Wednesday and we got the event, so it's either going to happen or ain't going to happen. So we'll take a look at this. Looking at other things, what else is going on? German import-export data. You think that's important? Do you think it's important if Volkswagen, BMW, Mercedes, Audi, Porsche, if people are buying them? Yeah. So anyways, you might want to look at that. Germany is the largest exporter in the EU, so take a look at their current account balances. Okay. Remember, if they're exporting cars, they're importing euros. Okay. There's an equal and opposite, right, reaction. So think about this number is actually euro imports, not Eurozone, but literally if Germany sells a Porsche for $100,000 US, they're importing $100,000 US dollars worth of euro. Euro going in, cars going out. So anyways, that's what we do. That's what the Forex trader do. Okay. 10-year T-note auction. Yeah, see, I don't know why it says this. Is that really true? Anyways, it says 1.68. I think we're at 1.49 right now. Okay. Okay, cool. Foreign investment into Japanese stocks, not really interested. Foreign bond investment. Okay. So anyways, the big thing obviously is the Bank of Canada interest rate statement. Okay. I don't think interest rates are going to go higher, but maybe. Probably not. Okay. Up, way down. Okay. So anyways, yeah, that's the big mover. And so like I said back on Monday, maybe you want to trade it now that it's Wednesday. Once again, sort of too little, too late, no planning ahead kind of thing. So here we are. I think, unfortunately, I got knocked out at break even on this one. And, well, it was like just, we're stuck in the range. I mean, that's the difficulty about consolidation. But I want you to pay attention here to the 21 EMA. Okay. That's what's going on. Nothing's right. I'm torn. Okay. 21 EMA, I'm already torn. Right? So anyways, get rid of the 5s and the 8s. And I'm just looking at that's weird. Okay. So I think really the only thing of interest going on here is that daily 21. Okay. So for me, that would be downsies. Okay. Downsies. And I had to stop here in case of a higher high, but you can see this week's short get short around 121.5. And I think it got to 121.32. 131.32. And the ideal price is 121.41. So 9 pips off from the expected short. Hey, not bad. It was just that I was stuck in the middle of the range, and that's not a good place to be. Right? There's a 50% chance you lose money. Well, I'm not interested in, right? Think of it as Russian roulette. Right? You always want the other guy to go first. And then you want him to go again. So anyways. Okay. So I'll have to consider a re-entry or a strategy off of that. But I would start with that in mind and then drop into the small time frame. Now, what happens to most people is they don't look at the higher time frame, so they don't know what's going on. You understand? They're like, right? And all you need to know is this is the daily 21. Okay? Then you fold in the smaller time frame and say, all right, maybe you treat this as a breakout, this is a pullback, and now you're gone. Or whatever. Okay? Whatever. Okay? So like this is, for example, if you're measuring this area, at some point what you have to see, and the challenge is seeing it, right? The challenge is seeing it because we are built with so many biases. So you have to build your bias and say, well, I'm going to sell it off the daily 21. Great. So, right? No high, no high, no high, no high. No highs, no higher highs could be the beginning of lower lows and lower highs. What? Okay. By the way, congratulations to those that are in on the M3. The only issue is you're trend trading in what could be considered a short-term range. So there might be an element of either luck to what you did or reliance on the timing of seasonality, which is okay too because I talk a lot about it. but you don't want to rely so much on it that you're throwing down sort of assumption trades or guess trades or bet trades. I mean, it's close. It might be good, it may not be good. There's this really, really fine line that it's more like if you are aware of what you're doing, then the fine line is better than if you didn't, then there was a little more luck involved. And so anyways, we can discuss that a little bit here. But anyways, if you had your plan that you believe this is going to drop this way because of price, because of things like price action, because of moving averages, just longer term strategy. Remember, not on a 15-minute chart, but on a daily chart. So then you have this, you start building on assumptions. Okay, we should kick off the daily 21 to the downside. So then you drop under the 15 and you notice no higher high, 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 but you are also assuming lower lows and lower highs. So you could, if you're aggressive, take a shot off the top, okay? But then you notice that suddenly, based on this smaller time frame over the course of, let's say, a morning, not only is it not making higher highs, it's testing now the bottom of the range, okay? And then, of course, the third part is not only is it not making higher highs and then has made a lower low, now you assume the lower high, okay? And that's very similar to what we call like a 1-2-3 reversal. You can call that like a double top, lower high, lower low, okay? And then here's another one, and then here's another one, and here's another one, and here's another one, and so on and so forth, okay? But here's the thing, and this is the part that I preach a lot. If you don't see this, you're not going to see anything else. You have to build your biases. Remember, everyone has confirmation bias. So you're only going to see what you want to see. So that's why you start on the higher time frame and you reaffirm to yourself the long-term direction. Okay? You guys see that? That's how you're building upon your biases, but you start the high time frame and you work your way down. Okay? Now the issue is if you get this right, I think you'll be right for 3 weeks, not 3 hours. So I have a question about pound Swissy. Well, Swissy is strong. Pound was strong and is weak, but dollar's weak and yen is weak. So am I going to do pound Swissy? No. No. You could, and it's working quite well today, but I want to stick to this theme a little more. Remember, I'm a thematic trader. A size, okay? I'm more interested in yen weakness and dollar weakness than Swissy strength because 5 years ago, if you asked me if I was looking at these currencies the way they are now, Swissy would be weak. Okay? So it's really, this is a European phenomenon. So the way I kind of look at it is pound, right? Money is moving out of London and into Zurich. But if you wanted to trade it because of that, okay, fine. We can do that. Okay, fine. Okay, I don't think I have pissy up here, do I? Pound Swissy? No. So we'll look at it this way. Okay? Now, first of all, do you see a trend? No. But anyways, let me back out even further. And let me change the template. Okay. And once again, I look at this. I think, in my opinion, that to do something now is a little bit irresponsible. Because if you're asking me to look at this today, like now, you're telling me you're a bear. Okay, great. So today is the 9th of June. On the 1st of June, you should have shorted at around 128. And that would be a standard position trade for a bear. And you can see at that time, we are at the top of a sideways, consolidation range. So it fits within, right? It fits within the idea of how to range trade from a bearish point of view. And again, if you're interested in pound Swissy today, you must be a bear. Right? Okay, great. Bulls are probably going to be interested closer to 26 because that's the bottom of the range. Okay? Now you might say, well, Wayne, the M2 and I'm a bull. Okay, yeah, but we're not trending, so why are you setting up trend trades? Okay? In a sideways moving market, we use S and R, support and resistance. Okay? But right now, we got this as our top. And that's not support and resistance, right? That's M3. So what does that tell us? There's a slight, a slight leaning towards bearishness. This tells me we're on our way down actually closer to 25.5. I don't want that, by the way, but this is what it says. It's like the castle. He's like, well, that's just what it says. Right? Okay? So somebody says, well, but Swissy's strong and pound is weak. Okay, good. Go ahead, sell it at support, and talk to me in a couple of years of you doing stuff like that, and tell me how it's going. Okay, to come in now is just gross negligence, in my opinion. That you're just showing up now, and you're like, now that the Swissy is strong and the pound is weak at the same time, you want to come in and sell it at support. All right, good luck with that. It's all, by all means, do what you want to do. Talk to me in a couple of years and show me how successful you are selling at support. And you're like, well, Wayne, it's not support on a 15-minute chart. Yeah, well, good luck with that too. Okay, it's poor decisions. Now, if you had sold where I teach you to sell, look at the exact day, okay, you take a shot there, great. Or you follow up here and you short there. Well, this is what I teach you, how to position trade. This is how I teach you how to swing trade. So if you want to sell down here, by all means, do what you got to do. I wouldn't do that. I would look at that and say, it's negligent. You don't know what you're doing. You're selling at support at least 2 days and 9 days late. Okay? So it's just an indication that you're chasing price. And you will not find consistency if you're 9 days late or 3 days late on a regular basis. Keep chasing price. You're not going to find the success that you wanted. Okay? And by the way, that's not a bitch slap or anything. That's just reality. You can't come in late like this and start selling at support and then achieve all your dreams. If you're reacting to the market, it tells me you don't have a plan and you're not going to be successful because you're not adding any value. You're not being productive. Okay? It's this idea like you want to get rich because people are going to give you money for free and now you're going to be rich. That's a delusion. Like, what are you talking about? Why would somebody make you rich if you add no value? And now you're like, well, Wayne, I just want to trade my own money. I don't want to be a money manager. Great, but you're still trading your own money. If you can't create value, you're not going to be valuable. Your account's not going to be valuable. You're not going to be filthy, stinking rich. Okay? So how do you create value? Well, you should have sold this on Friday, Sunday, or Monday. Not now. You should have sold this on the 1st of June. Not now. Okay? Planning. You have to do the research. You have to earn it. Okay? You have to earn it. And psychologically, by the way, it's very important. When you do find success, when you do, you will be successful if you do the work. And when you find success, you will be able to sleep at night because you emotionally and psychologically will believe deep down inside of you that you deserve it because you earned it. Okay? If you're chasing price and making a quick buck, 20 pips here, 50 pips there, 100 pips every once in a while, you're going to find self-sabotage creep in. You'll be surprised about the human psyche. You'll be surprised. Oh, it won't happen to me. You watch. Self-sabotage is a real thing. Okay? Sort of part of like the Oedipus complex, if you will. You're going to marry a mother and kill your father. Okay, anyways, take a look here. Nice. Nice. Okay, killer. Okay, cool. Cool. Cool beans, yo. Okay, so we got Brent, Oscar, Mike. Topping out probably 74. Okay, so we got a buck or a bit more to go. Okay. Yeah, Joseph, yeah. Okay, so this is good. This is good. Now, what could this lead to? What kind of trade would this lead to? What kind of correlation, like with what currency have I taught you to watch this and trade something else? What is that something else? Noki. Yeah, you're right. Noki. So we go back to the dollar pair and we look up Norway. And once again, plan A is still kicking butt. Why? We based it on the supply and demand of Brent crude oil. Okay, cool. 840 was the short, and we're targeting way over here at 8.0. And now we're on the next move. So we made it through 8.25. Okay. Projection for the week is we can get down to probably 815. Okay. Next couple of days, 815. Then probably a retest of this price at 825. And then down to 8.0 next week. Okay? That's how you do it, son. This is all put together in advance. Okay? And notice, this is not a pivot trade. Okay? Some of you yesterday and today are saying things like, well, I sold it at the M3 or I bought it at the M2. And I know, right, I know you want me to say, oh, good boy, good boy. Well, you're trend trading in a range. So I don't know if, the point here was we identified this as a sell zone and this is a sell zone. Okay. And now now it's more like next week, if we get this lower low kind of move, then we want to start looking at those trades. But the beginning here, there's no trend, so you can't be trading. Kennedy says, why does crude oil trade in the same direction as Noki? No. You don't understand. Why does the Norwegian kroner trade the same as Brent crude? You're asking it backwards. Well, who sells Brent crude? Yes, Ninimum says, hey, my plan was to buy pound Swissy. Yeah, well, it's too early. Okay. All right, so who sells Brent crude? Norway, and who else? Who else? No, Thiago, no. Mr. Kennedy, I have no idea. Okay. Got to do some work. Who else besides Norway? Not USD, no. You guys are missing basic knowledge. This is good. I'm going to add value today. Canada, absolutely wrong. Oh my God, guys. Oh my God. All right. Sweden, get out of here. South Africa, you guys are joking. All right. Okay, let's do this. You ready? Write this down. Instead of me just telling you, let me give you a history lesson. There was, we'll call this the United States of America. And we'll call this, okay, we'll call this the Middle East. All right. And what happened was, okay, America and the rest of Western Europe, but anyways, would come in, rape and pillage, and bring their spoils home to America. Okay? Two things were very important. There were many important things to the industrialization of America. One of them is cheap steel, and the other one was cheap energy. Okay? And that worked for many decades, and America got richer and richer and richer and richer and richer, and cheap oil was a real benefit. Okay? Then, Middle Eastern producers of oil, okay, Saudi Arabia and such, we'll just put this area here, said, you know what? You're stealing all our oil. You're not giving us a fair price. And the Americans said, shut up. That's what happens when you're raping and pillaging, right? They're like oil Vikings, right? So anyways, this goes on and on and on and on and on. And then finally, oil producers said, you know what? We're going to get all our friends together in this whole region, right? North Africa, Middle East. We'll even throw in some Venezuelan oil. And we're going to band together in a cartel. If you don't start treating us properly, with respect, and paying us a fair price, then we're going to band together as a cartel, and we're going to control the oil. Instead of you dictating price, we will dictate price by controlling supply. And what did the Americans say in reaction to this? Shut up! So they're like, all right, well, F you. So they created OPEC. And suddenly, around the time of Nixon, the worst president in history, OPEC gets together and cuts supply, drives up prices. Okay? Oil goes up 300% overnight. Okay? So, in reaction to OPEC, right, the Western world created sort of an anti-OPEC. But here's the real interesting thing, okay? Because that's a political response. But how about this? There's a capitalist response to this. All right, oil jumps 300%. Suddenly, America and the United Kingdom said, oh my gosh, we're locked in with OPEC oil. We have to pay 300% more. This is now a strategic risk. We are vulnerable to the Middle East. And if they cut off our oil, our economies collapse. And we cannot allow this. So, right? So you got America. Now let me put UK on the map somewhere. UK here. And we'll throw down some Europe. Okay, we'll throw in the European experience, something like that. Okay. All right. So the United States and the United Kingdom, London and New York, basically get together and go, oh my God, we're screwed. They totally caught us not looking, even though they were warned year after year after year after year after year. Okay. So finally, OPEC drives up oil prices, and then suddenly red alert in the United States and in the UK. So the Americans said, where do we get oil? We need a new supply of oil right here, right now. And all of a sudden, there's a bunch of oil in Alaska. And it used to be very expensive to dig and very sensitive land, in the nature. But they're like, you know what? Screw nature. Oil prices went up 300%. And we couldn't afford or didn't want to drill out of Alaska before, but we're going to right now. Boom. And we start drilling oil in Alaska. Okay? Well, I think it was Margaret Thatcher and the Queen of England and Thor and Von Hayek, they all get together and like, oh my God, we need oil too. Okay? And guess where that oil is? Right here. North Sea. So you have England, you have Scotland, and you have Norway, and they all share this oil in the North Sea. Okay? And so they started putting big deep sea oil rigs in there. And it was also very, very expensive. They always knew the oil was there. Like Americans always knew oil was in Alaska. But you didn't really want to drill in Alaska. And if you did, it was very, very expensive. So who cares? You were sucking oil out of the Middle East. It was easy. It was cheap. So who cares? You didn't need Alaskan oil. Same thing with the North Sea. It's deep. It's cold. The weather's horrible. The seas are rough. There's got to be way better, easier, cheaper oil to get than the North Sea. So they were just sucking it out of the Middle East like everybody else. Right? Okay? Cool. So now we simplify this and purify, because the amount of oil sucked out of the North Sea in regards to a country's GDP, a percentage now, as a percentage of GDP, it's very, very, very influential to the supply and demand of the Norwegian currency. So we can say, okay, we call this, by the way, Brent. Now, Brent is really international oil, but I kind of want you to think of it more like North Sea oil, because it'll correlate better with Norway than sort of like, well, it's all international oil. Yeah, well, you're not trading Saudi Arabian currency. You're not trading Iranian currency. You're not trading Venezuelan currency. So what is it that you're trading? Just dumb it down and just say North Sea oil. And the highest correlation is likely Norway. So NOK. Okay. Okay. Now, WTI is still mostly West Texas oil, Oklahoma oil. But yes, there's also, you get stuff from Pennsylvania. Okay. The first oil out of America was from Pennsylvania. Okay. Can you think of like Pennzoil, for example? Pennzoil. You guys remember Pennzoil? Pennsylvania, right? The Native Americans in the region used to take the crude oil bubbling out of the ground and wipe it on the bottom of their canoes and on the tops of their homes for waterproofing. It was literally bubbling out of the ground. So that was the first oil rush in America. Okay? The same thing was happening in Baku in Azerbaijan. Okay? Just bubbling out of the ground. Of course, lots of nat gas in that region too. So anyways, so when you think of WTI, it's still West Texas. Okay? Intermediate, not light, not heavy. Okay? But Oklahoma is a big producer. Pennsylvania is a big producer. And there's other regions too. But WTI, is it Alaskan oil? No. Okay. But WTI, you just consider American oil. And Brent, you can consider Norway, UK. Okay. A little bit of simplification, but pretty reasonable. Now, OPEC gets together and the OECD countries, okay, aka rich countries, say, well, we understand what they're doing. They created a cartel, so we will create a cartel, and I'll put the cartel now in Europe, and we will call our cartel, okay, the International Energy Agency. Okay, and they offset the supply control OPEC has by keeping a strategic petroleum reserve to offset OPEC control. So if OPEC cuts production to drive up prices, the IEA, which has members from OECD countries, which means each one of these OECD countries has a petroleum reserve, so that if OPEC cuts and to drive up prices, IEA members can then release supply from reserve and offset the shortage, thereby maintaining current prices. Isn't that awesome? Nice. Cool. Okay. I hope it says oil is toast. It's energy. It's a lot more than that. And it's energy, but it's more than energy. It's fertilizer. It's plastics. There's a lot of, it's, right? Anyways, it's still there. Okay. Anyways. And I think there's a fabulous history behind all of this as well. So anyways, anywho. Cool. You guys, I was just reading stupid OPEC. Hey, you know what? No, I don't blame OPEC at all. I understand why OPEC was created. There was a reason for it. And it could have easily been avoided. But Brian says, can we get in a swing trade on Kiwi dollar? Well, it's Wednesday, so you're either very, very late or very, very early. So I have doubts right off the bat. But let's take that thesis and put it together. Okay? Is there a swing trade in a range? No. What kind of trade is a swing trade. It's a trend trade. Is this an awesome trend? Let's look at it this way. No, it's not. So the quick answer is no. You might want to buy it around 71. You might want to sell it around 73. We're at 72, so no. The answer is no. I don't need to know any more information. No, not interested. Pass. Cool. Cool. Okay, Brian? Okay, so anyways, there's our Brent. We're approaching profit zones. Oh, my pleasure. I'm here to share. Yeah, if you guys liked that story or if you hated the story, would you click like? 66% of people have not clicked the like button. 66%. Cool. Let's do gold. Many people are interested in gold. Okay. Okay. And we're still at an okay buy price. Pretty close to a psych level, though. Let me shift this. Okay. Cool. Still less than half of people liked it. Amazing. All right. All right. So what do we know about gold? Bears sold it around, what, 1910? Bulls bought it around 1860. And we're halfway through. So this is a fib war, really. So any trade going now is based on assumptions, but I can tell you both bulls and bears are buying and selling. It's a little dangerous right now. This is really, last week's really trades. Bears sold where bears should sell. M3 to the right. Last week was a perfect sell, although I don't think I would have done it if I were me, but then again, it was a perfect move. So last week, right, is really the setup here for bulls. And now both bulls and bears sort of agree, right? Like you could look at it like this almost. I wouldn't draw it this way. I'm just pointing it out. Okay. The other way you could do it is like this. Oops. Okay. Okay. Kind of looks like that, if you ask me. So what do you do now? Well, once again, it's like, how do you get into a good plan 4 days late? I don't know if you can, right? Okay, I'm a bull, so I want this to go up. So I'm kind of like, wait for this to get into an apex, and it really looks like that to me. Okay. Right? Okay. Does that make sense? Now, there are bears here. You can see them. I can see them. There are bears here. What would a bear sell? What would a bear for sure sell? Help predict the future, guys. What would a bear for sure sell? Because of the definition of being a bear, what would they be obligated to do as a bear? Okay. Michael says he's going to buy today gold at the M2. My point here, Michael, is that you're in this zone right here, and that might work, and it probably will work, but you have to recognize that it's dangerous. Okay. Therefore, you'll manage your risk appropriately. Monthly M3. Well, I'm going with Alton. Yes, it might be monthly M3, but not everybody uses monthly M3. Okay. That's just, once again, it's statistically, it's an M3, but psychologically, a bear will have to sell a double top. And they're looking for this now. Hua? Now, what would create a market like that? The Fed would probably need to change policy or hint towards a change in policy, somehow driving up demand for dollar. So the stock market would have to fall. Consumption would have to fall. Okay? What happens when the stock market falls? What do people buy? What happens when the S&P 500 falls? What do people buy? What do people buy if the S&P 500 falls? Bond market. So we'll say 10-year T-note. Okay? So that goes up. Okay? What happens to yield, aka interest rates? Okay. Okay. Now, the interesting thing is many people that don't know, they'll tell you in that situation the dollar weakens. But in this case, the dollar actually strengthens. People are telling, right? So anyways. So you'd have to have consumption fall, S&P 500 fall, the 10-year T-note rally, interest rates fall, and the dollar gets strong. Wait, interest rates fall and the dollar gets strong? Yeah, that's right. Okay. Very often you hear this really confusing message in the media where they're like, they mess that kind of stuff up. The dollar's strong because they're worried about interest rates going up. Well, if interest rates are going up, the dollar would be weak. So anyways, you have to play that out. So my other point, somebody said that they want to buy at today's M2. So let's do now. I'll throw down some Wyatt. We'll do that. Okay. Now, let's zoom in a bit. My issue with that is you're trying to line up now these forces, okay, and avoid those forces. So it can be done, but my point here is it's a little bit tricky because you do have forces above you. But if you were going to do it, that's a reasonable attempt to try. And of course, doing it properly means you don't lose any money, right? So let's see. Let's check these settings. I don't think I have mids, right? I don't think I have mids. There we go. Okay. Wait, so that's that's the weekly, I see. Where's the daily? Oh, in the daily pivot point, daily M2. So today's buy zone, okay, I just want to get this right. Today's buy zone is right here. Okay. This is a monthly buy. Okay. And this is the weekly buy. And this is the daily, right? Okay. The point I'm trying to make is that's good. That's good. But there's a bit of a reliance on this continuing, which is fine. But you still need to recognize that there are bears here, okay? And there are bears here. So if you're going to take this, you got to manage it accordingly. Or you could just skip this one and let the weekly thing ride out. Define super long, Nacha. Yeah, probably the best one is my, my RAND trade from March 9th. I've earned 37% return on investment in interest rates, 37%, which is not bad for 3 months. So I'm earning over 10% per month return on investment, but I'm up almost 13x in profit. Okay. 37% ROI plus 13x. Yep. That's not bad for 3 months. Okay, let's take a look at bitty, bitty, bitty. Can't you see? Okay. So, does Bitcoin trade technically? Well, we call this resistance. We call this support. S1, R1. We call that an inside month. Perhaps a red flag? Oh, I don't know. This is a monthly sell zone, not very perfect, and then we fell through, of course. Okay. I've recently purchased Bitcoin. Can anybody tell me why? Why did I buy Bitcoin? What would Wayne do? Or what did Wayne do? What did Wayne do? It's a game. What did Wayne do? Psych number, no. Dollar weakness, don't care. Because I'm bearish on, so what? Doesn't mean I buy Bitcoin. Elon Musk told me to, okay? Let me get rid of this. Let me clean my charts here. Cool. There we go. Yeah, monthly M2. Okay. Look. Yep. So I bought it and I'm done. Oh, because of El Salvador. Yeah, because of El Salvador. For sure. I can buy hot sauce now using Bitcoin. Yay! Okay, great. Cool. Yeah, I'm sure Elon is pissed that Bezos is going to space before him. Pissed. Anyways, oh, my favorite peso. Love the peso. One of my favorite currencies. And it's just doing fantastic. Rand is trying to find its top here, which is great. Great. It's great. Cool. A little higher than I would have liked. Okay. But now we got to drill in and play the top. Okay. And this is actually the area I care about. Okay. Cool. Why does Bloomberg claim? Well, first of all, Bloomberg's a news. They don't claim. So someone on Bloomberg. But why 20K? Well, that used to be the top. Right? That's all. Pete says, yeah, I bought BTC because I don't understand XRP. Sure. Also, I can't buy XRP, so that's the other thing. But I could have bought Litecoin or something. Okay. Like, I understand XMR more than I do, like, why do we have Litecoin? Okay. I don't know. It's just, right? I don't know. I'll have to look at it more. But this, so I wrote a piece yesterday about how that pipeline hack, Colonial Pipeline was hacked, what, a month and a half ago? And they paid, what, $5 million in Bitcoin? The FBI hacked the hackers, got the private keys, and pulled half of the money back. So I wrote this paper like, okay, well, that's the end of Bitcoin for that kind of thing. Hackers are going to ask for, much more secretive crypto. XMR might be one of those. What's up, Jimbo? Oh, well, dude, I'm busy. What can I say? I'm not home very much doing stuff. By the way, do you sign your emails, Jimbo? Right? I don't think so, right? But anyways. Yeah, I will try to get to the stuff today. There's a few people that have been emailing me about various things, so I'll spend some extra time today. Yeah, I didn't think so. But yeah, uh, yeah, but yeah, I'm just I'm not a great customer service person. That's not how boot camp is designed, right? Yeah, it's really funny. Like, there's a guy I know in the Forex world. I've met at various Forex conferences when I used to do all the speaking tours. And I'm on his email list. And dude, I get 4 or 5 emails a day from him. If you're on my list, you get maybe an email to log in for a webinar that you've already like paid for. But I don't send out marketing emails, sales emails, spamming emails. Like, it's really interesting. So, same thing, like, FX Bootcamp's designed where if you want to cancel your membership, you cancel your membership. If you want to change your credit card, you change your credit card. You know, but it's all these things, right? So every once in a while, somebody has a unique problem, and I'm hard to get a hold of because I don't do sales and marketing, customer service. I try to automate everything. So because I'm busy doing stuff, right? It's right. So it's not an excuse; it's just reality. So, so I apologize. I'm not around a lot. That's why I try to automate everything. So, anyways, yeah, ping me, and I will do my best. But I got family, I got children, I got things going on. I'm in the middle of school at MIT. I'm just a average regular Joe trying to do extraordinary things. I know Jimbo. I've known you for a very long time. Yeah. 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 I'm explaining why I suck at customer service and why I designed FX Bootcamp the way I have, because I know I suck. It's not, I'm not running a big global, giant education service. I want 10 million people on here. I want to crush it. I want to make $40 million a month on my educational service. Dude, I'm just running these things to help. But it's not a business empire either. Yeah, I'm just a trader. Cool. So let's go back into here. So just keep at it, Jimbo. I apologize. Yeah, maybe. Yeah. I'm not ignoring you. I'm just telling you. Right. Yeah. So, anyways, I'm sorry. Is all I could say. I'm sorry, and I will spend extra time today to make sure everybody's happy. Oh, thank you, Hope. All right, cool. So what do you think? Okay, what do you think? Is it all right? Well, this is a swing trade that the Swing Trading Group and I put together way back in May. We are now almost 1/3 of the way through June. So it's been 2.5 weeks maybe since we put the trade plan together. Some of the assumptions is sideways, then up. Okay? Range, that's an R by the way, range to trend is the idea. Okay? Technically, this is range bound. Fundamentally, we're unsure. What's the Fed going to do? When are they going to do it? How is the market going to react to it? Okay? But seasonality, I'm bullish. Okay, this is what we did in middle of May, late May, early June. So here we are, okay, on the 3rd day of June. I'm long because how do you trade a range? If you're a bull, you buy at the bottom of the range. Oh, nice. You're welcome. Also, this idea of kick off the monthly M2. That confirms my hypotheses, not of the range, but of the future potential trend. It tells me bulls bought where bulls bought. Well, we don't have a bullish market. We have a neutral market. Oh, but I'm bullish. I'm a bull in a neutral market with some built-in assumptions, which we call bias. Okay? Actually, Michael, I do have secret doors in my house. So I lovingly refer to it as the 50 Shades room, and my wife's like, stop calling it that. I'm like, what? That's what people think. Yeah. So anyways, MM2. That tells me that there are other like-minded individuals that are buyers. They're bullish. Okay? Diego says 97% chance no change. Yes. No change in what? Diego, no change in what? Let's make sure we're on the right track. Right. Is that the concern right now? No. Okay. What are we looking for in the June Fed meeting? We know there's no chance of interest rate changing. Zero. So who cares? What do we care about? What are we looking for in the Fed meeting? Yeah. But there won't be a taper. But the discussion of taper. You might also want to pay attention to the dot plot because we're going to have more than half of the FOMC members, okay, move their dots. And the media is going to freak out about this. Even though the dot plots are one of the most useless tools, but journalism majors love to write about it because they have nothing else to write about because nothing has actually changed, okay? But they are going to wink, wink, nudge, nudge, but we already know that. We already know that. I talked about it a year ago. So the wink, wink, nudge, nudge is sort of like, okay, well, now the market might freak out about that, and it's our job to like look good under fire, okay? We want to be like those experienced officers that are walking through active combat, bullets flying everywhere, explosions going off, shells landing all over the place, and they're just standing there calm as can be. That's what our job is. Okay? We have to stay calm under fire. Let all the chickens run around and make a bloody mess. You know what I mean? Cool. So, I'm climbing the stairs here. On smaller time frames, you could be doing stuff like this. Up, 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 down, down, buy. Up, 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 down, down, buy. Up, 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 down, down, buy. Now, I got an email from somebody yesterday, and they're like, I don't have the exact same prices that you have, and I'm losing money because my tool isn't drawing it properly. Dude, I have the same tools as you, and you don't need any tools. Up, 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 down, down. Buy the dip. Drop a stop. Up, 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 down, down, buy. Buy the dip. Drop a stop, right? And if you're losing money on these trades, your stops are too close, and you're probably over leveraged. But these are easy trades. I don't care what tools you have, even if you have no tools. Okay? You have to, right? You have to be able to buy dips if you're bullish. There should be nothing to it. If you bought these guys, if you bought these dips and you lost money or you broke even, you're way too close. You're walking on razor blade. Okay? You should be in these trades if you're a bull. Okay? Okay? If you find the tool isn't working for you, get rid of the tool. Okay? Statistical analysis should be able to be done in your mind. Okay? For example, if this is the low and this is the high and this is the close, this is the 50%, this is the central pivot point. You don't, right? The tools are not telling you what to do. Okay? The tools are not telling you what to do. Okay? 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 If you guys don't know what tapering is, if you don't know what the dot plot is, stuff like that, I recommend you join FX Bootcamp and take the what I call a fundamentals course, but I'm going to rename it and redo it. But it's really a monetary policy course. Now, do I mention dot plot specifically? Do I mention tapering specifically? Maybe tapering, probably not dot plot, but if you have taken the course and then studied central banking on your own, you do know these things. As an example, by the third lecture, I'm teaching you how to manage the balance sheet at a commercial bank. Because if you don't understand how to manage a balance sheet as a bank manager, how the hell are you going to understand central banking, right? So, it's like one of those things. So you will learn. You will learn. Okay? Okay, you'll learn these things. You will learn. You got this. This will work out. Yeah, thank you, Jim, right? Google is a great tool, right? Yeah, for sure. Yeah. Sure, Lessa. Sure. Yeah, we can talk about that on Thursday. Yeah, the way I taught myself is I would read something and they would say things like the taper or tapering or taper tantrum. Of course, I studied years before taper tantrum, but let's say I was reading about it as a new person. I'm like, taper tantrum, tapering, dot plot. And as I go through, I'd write these things down, and then I would spend hours and hours and hours and hours and hours and hours reading and researching. What is the taper or the taper tantrum? When did it happen? Why did it happen? How did things happen? Right? And then as I'm reading about these things, more and more things would pop up that I don't know. So in the early days, I would search for one thing I didn't know, and I would find 10 things I didn't know. So it was exponential, the amount of work. The more I studied, the more I didn't know, so the more I had to study. Claudio, how much is the course? Less than $10,000. Darko said, I bought the course on Monday and more things in a few lessons than you learned in the last 6 months. There you go. Remember, you can always make more money, but you can't make more time, right? So if it's, boom, just like that, if you just gain 6 months in your first 6 days, holy smokes, you're converting days into months, and that's a good thing. Cool. Darko's like, yes, sir. It really surprises me. And why does it surprise you? Probably bad experiences from other services, huh? Okay. Coolio. Well, let's see. So I guess I got to do some customer service today. I guess I should spend a little time, see if I can update the files on MetaTraders. So if I'm going to do that kind of work this morning, I'm also going to raise the price to FX Bootcamp. I guess I'll do it today. There you go. I guess I just decided. So you have about 2 hours before I kill the coupon code FX Bootcamp. Okay. So that's it. The last 2 hours. I'm not even going to send out a marketing email because that would be a salesy. I think I lowered the price because of COVID-19 back in February of last year. So I don't know how many times people have been told. So anyways, I don't think COVID is over in Georgia. You can go to restaurants, you can go to grocery stores, you can go to bars, you can go anywhere you want. You don't need a mask. It's over. So I guess the coupon's over. Yeah. Cool. Ooh, well, how many people here have already signed up for the courses? How about that? How many people have already signed up for the courses? Just as a sort of a raising of the hands for those that are still on the fence. Okay. And thank you for being part of the family and the community. You'll find as a new member that the community is a whole aspect. You might sign up for the videos, you might sign up for the live group, but you're gonna stay for the community. Yeah. Yeah, so thank you everybody. That's really cool. Yeah. Made us like viruses are like coupons. Roderick's like, it's the best investment I ever made. That's really cool. That's only on Thursdays. That's right, K-Dog. Yeah. All right, cool. Well, peace on earth. May the pips be with you. May our profits be above average. And I'll see you guys tomorrow here on Romper Room. Thank you, Traders Way. Thank you, guys. Thank you, everybody. Have the best day ever. Cheers.